Hello, noble ones. My name is Adeze Atterson. I am the president, Adeze Atterson Family Club. Welcome to my channel. Today we continue our book discussion on gentle measures in the management and training of the young by Jacob Abbott. If you have been having an interesting journey with us, we will appreciate if you can drop a comment and share your experience, what you're learning with us, what has been your aha moment. That will also help us to know how to serve you better. Today we are going to chapter 6, Rewarding Obedience. Most parents will be excited about this chapter because naturally we want to give to our children. But this chapter brings another dimension to the concept of rewarding obedience. The main thing Uncle Abbott is trying to teach us here is that children should not be trained to obey only because they will receive rewards, treats, or payment. Obedience should grow from respect for authority, relationship, trust, and habit, not from bargaining. He argues that rewards can be useful, but they must be used carefully so that parenting does not become a system of bribery. The reality is that this system is not sustainable because as the children grow older, the stake gets higher. Today is a box of chocolate, tomorrow becomes the latest iPhone. And it will now be dependent on whether your incentive is strong enough or not for them to obey. Secondly, in life, there is no system of bribery, but the system expects obedience. Therefore, a child trained in a system of bribery will go into the world naturally expecting the same thing because the brain does not know how to distinguish home environment from outside environment. How you know to do a thing is how you know to do it, regardless of environment. And when this child comes to an environment outside of the home, they will be met with many unpleasant surprises, if not serious consequences. The purpose of this chapter is to show us what the wrong approach looks like and what the better approach should be. I find that many parents fall into this trap of using bribery to get their children to obey. Some find that it is quick, it gives space for the parents to have breathers, but the reality is that it does not build character, and we're going to see why. He first takes the wrong approach with an example of a mother that is going out, which happens all the time, and you drop an instruction, okay, don't watch television, or don't go out in the balcony, or don't go to the playground, whatever the case might be. And then you attach a reward. If you don't do this, or if you do it, when I come back, I will buy candy for you, I will buy chocolate, I will buy ice cream, or all the numerous promises that we give to the children. He's saying that using this approach, which is what most of us fall into, turns obedience to a transaction. You start not intentionally, but systematically to train this child that obedience is transactional. You also train the child that good behavior deserves payment. They also learn through this form of training that rules matter only when rewards are attached. And it heightens their tendency to be manipulative. Because what starts to happen is that as they grow older, they will try to figure out how to get the reward without obeying. According to Uncle Jacob, this weakens moral development because the child begins to ask, what do I get for obeying? Instead of understanding this is the right thing to do. If you ponder over these things we have talked about, it becomes obvious why this kind of training method has this kind of effect on children. So we'll just go straight to the better method. What is the better approach, which is more like indirect rewarding, as he captures it? He said, instead of promising rewards beforehand, you will first of all, or first and foremost, give this instruction clearly. Allow the child to obey freely and later express happiness and appreciation naturally. So we'll go back to the first example where a mother was going out and she dropped an instruction of what to do or what not to do. And when she comes back and she confirms from a caregiver that the children obeys, she expresses pleasant surprises at them with hugs and words of affirmation, you know, confirming her confidence in them, like making statements like, I knew you were going to obey me. If it's someone that is starting the training process, you can also phrase it, I noticed that you are obeying more or you're listening more. And when I gave this instruction, I was sure that you were going to obey. And I'm really excited that you actually obeyed or you actually listened to me. And you put in some element of why this is important by adding something like, because you do this, it's easier for me to keep you safe. It's easier for me to take care of you. It's easier for me to protect you from harm, such that the child can make an association with their obedience with their safety, giving them an internal self-preservative motive to obey other than external. Okay? And he's pointing out that when you look at the two different approaches, there is some sort of, okay, sorry, I missed one thing. So he's saying that after you do that, you allow moment to pass, the conversation about obedience and everything that happened should go. Then after some time, you can just call them and say, oh, I come and have the treats I bought for you in the market. I am particularly pleased to give you these gifts or these treats because you obeyed me or you listened to me, making my trip to the market or my trip to your auntie's house a pleasant one because I didn't have to worry about you. Go and enjoy the treat. Now, this has been disconnected from what they actually did. It's just their mother giving them a treat that she brought home from her trip, but not particularly because they obeyed. Okay, that's the part I missed. And he is saying that even though there was gifting of treats in both scenarios, the timing of the gifting of the treat is what is most crucial. In this case, the timing was after they have obeyed, but in the wrong approach, the timing was before they were obeyed. The timing was the incentive to obey. And he's saying that just the shift from before to after makes a whole lot of difference in the impact it has in the child, because it helps the child now to connect obedience with trust, approval, relationship, and emotional warmth. What I find from my experience practicing these things recently is that even as little as a peck on the cheek to just acknowledge what a child has done in terms of obedience, even after they've expressed um, resistance and reluctance, warms them up to the idea of obedience, because what we underestimate is the value that children attach to our relationship with them. I will stop this conversation here. The next video we'll be looking at the tips that parents can apply to help these children obey. As Uncle Jacob pointed out to us, that obedience is not always pleasant. It comes with some challenges and difficulties for the child, and he tells us a few things that we can do to support children in their growth process as they learn to obey. And for some of our kids, they are unlearning old patterns that we have established over years and learning new ones. And it's not easy for them. So he tries to buy us in to the children's side so that we can have an appreciation of what they're going through, what is going on in their mind, and know how to support them for better outcomes. Until I come your way in the next video, my name is Ades Atterson, and I thank you so very much for listening to the end. I would like to know if you have had an experience where you rewarded children with bribes, but it failed. And how did you navigate that resistance or that challenge of having them still disobeying even with the reward? Thank you and take care. Bye.